Annunciation. It is early dusk of a spring evening. Supper has just been finished in the Winfield apartment. Amanda and Laura, in light-colored dresses, are removing dishes from the table in the dining room, which is shadowy, their movements formalized almost as a dance or ritual. Their moving forms as pale and silent as moths. Tom, in white shirt and trousers, rises from the table and crosses toward the fire escape.
Sup, will you do me a favor?
What?
Comb your hair. You look so pretty when your hair is combed. There is only one respect in which I would like you to emulate your father.
What respect is that?
The care he always took of his appearance. He never allowed himself to look untidy. Where are you going?
I'm going out to smoke.
You smoke too much. A pack a day at 50 cents a pack. How much would that amount to in a month? 30 times 15 is how much, Tom? Figure it out, and you will be astounded at what you can save. Enough to give you a nice school course in accounting at Washington U. Just think of what a wonderful thing that would be for you, son.
I'd rather smoke.
I know, that's the tragedy of it.
Across the alley from us was the Paradise Dance Hall. On evenings in spring, the windows and doors were open and the music came outdoors. Sometimes the lights were turned out except for a large glass sphere that hung from the ceiling. It would turn slowly about and filter the dusk with delicate rainbow colors. Then the orchestra played a waltz or a tango, something that had a slow and sensuous rhythm. Couples would come outside to the relative privacy of the alley. You could see them kissing behind ash pits and telephone poles. This was the compensation for lives that passed like mine, without any change or adventure. Adventure and change were imminent in this year. They were waiting around the corner for all these kids, suspended in the mist over Berchtesgaden, Garden, caught in the folds of Chamberlain's umbrella. In Spain, there was Guernica, but here there was only hot swing music and liquor, dance halls, bars, and movies, and sex that hung in the gloom like a chandelier and flooded with the world with brief, deceptive rainbows. All the world was waiting for bombardments.
A fire escape landings, a port excuse for a porch.
Continue, come on.
What are you looking at?
The moon.
Is there a moon this evening?
It's rising over Garfinkel's delicatessen.
So it is, a little silver slipper of a moon. Have you made a wish on it yet?
Mm-hmm.
What did you wish for?
That's a secret.
A secret, huh? Well, I won't tell mine either. I will be just as mysterious as you are.
I bet I can guess what yours is.
Is my head so transparent?
You're not a sphinx.
No, I don't have secrets. I'll tell you what I wish for on the moon. Success and happiness for my precious children. I wish for that whenever there's a moon. And when there isn't a moon, I wish for it too.
I thought perhaps you wished for a gentleman collar.
Why do you say that?
Don't you remember asking me to fetch one?
I remember suggesting that would be nice for your sister if you brought home some nice young man from the warehouse. I think I've made that suggestion more than once.
Yes, you have made it repeatedly.
Well?
We are going to have one.
What?
A gentleman collar.
You mean you have asked some nice young man to come over?
Yep, I've asked him to dinner.
You really did?
I did. Go and continue.
We're gonna need to edit that.
Where are we at? Oh, I did.
You did? And did he accept?
He did.
Well, that's lovely.
I thought that you would be pleased.
That's definite then.
Very definite.
Soon?
Very soon.
For heaven's sake, stop putting on and tell me some things, will you?
What things do you want me to tell you?
Naturally, I would like to know when he's coming.
He's coming tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Yep, tomorrow.
But Tom!
Yes, Mother?
Tomorrow gives me no time.
Time for what?
Preparation. Congratulations! Why didn't you phone me at once as soon as you asked him? The minute that he accepted. Then, don't you see, I could have been getting ready.
You don't have to make any fuss.
Oh, Tom. Of course I have to make a fuss. I want things nice, not sloppy, not thrown together. I'll certainly have to do some fast thinking, won't I?
I don't see why you have to think at all.
You just don't know. We have a gentleman caller in a pigsty. All my wedding silver has to be polished. The monogram table linen ought to be laundered. The window have to be washed or fresh curtains put up. And how about clothes? We have to wear something, don't we?
Mother, this boy is no one to make a fuss over.
Do you realize he's the first young man we introduced to your sister? It's terrible, dreadful, disgraceful. That poor little sister has never received a single gentleman caller. Tom, come inside.
What for?
I want to ask you some things.
If you're going to make such a fuss, I'll call it off and I'll tell him not to come.
You certainly won't do anything of the kind. Nothing offends people worse than broken engagements. It simply means I'll have to work like a Turk. We won't be brilliant, but we will pass inspection. Come on inside. Sit down.
Any particular place where you'd like me to sit?
Thank heavens, I've got that new sofa. I'm also making payments on the floor lamp I have sent out. And put the chintz covers on. They'll brighten things up. Of course, I hope to have these walls repapered. What's the young man's name?
His name is O'Connor.
That, of course, means fish. Tomorrow is Friday. I'll have that salmon loaf with dairy dressing. What does he do? He works at the warehouse?
Of course, how else would I...
Tom, he doesn't drink.
Why do you ask me that?
Your father did.
Don't get started on that.
He does drink, then.
Not that I know of.
Make sure, be certain. The last thing I want for my daughter is a boy who drinks.
Aren't you being a little bit premature? Mr. O'Connor has not yet appeared on the scene.
But will tomorrow, to meet your sister, and do what I know about his character? Nothing. Old maids are better off than wives of drunkards.
Oh my God.
Be still.
Lots of fellows meet girls whom they don't marry.
Oh, talk sensibly, Tom, and don't be sarcastic.
What are you doing?
I'm brushing that cowlick down. What is this young man's position in the warehouse?
This young man's position is that of a shipping clerk, Mother.
Sounds to me like a fairly responsible job. The sort of a job that you would be in if you had more get up. What is the salary? Have you any idea?
I would judge it to be approximately $85 a month.
Well, not princely. But
20 more than I make.
yeah, yes. How well I know. But for a family man, $85 a month is not much more than you can get on by.
Yes, but Mr. O'Connor is not a family man.
He might be might he sometime in the future?
I see plans and provisions.
You are the only young man I know of who ignores the fact that the future becomes the present the past, and the past turns into everlasting regret if you don't plan for it.
I will think that over and see what I can make of it.
Don't be stupidlicious with your mother. Tell me some more about this, or do you call him?
James D. O'Connor. The D is for Delaney.
Irish on both sides, gracious. And doesn't drink?
Shall I call him up and ask him right this minute?
The only way to find out about those things is to make discreet inquiries at the proper moment. When I was a girl in Blue Mountain and it was suspected that young man drank, the girl whose attention he has been receiving, if any girl was, would sometimes speak to the minister of his church, or rather her father would if her father was living, and sort of feel him out on the young man's character. That is the way such things are discreetly handled to keep a young woman from making a tragic mistake.
Then how did you happen to make a tragic mistake?
That innocent look of your father had everyone fooled. He smiled. The world was enchanted. No girl can do worse than put herself in the mercy of a handsome appearance. I hope that Mr. O'Connor is not too good looking.
No, he's not too good looking. He's covered with freckles and hasn't too much of a nose.
He's not downright homey, though.
Not right down homely, just medium homely, I'd say.
Characters. What to look in for look for in a man.